Victor Frankenstein made a monster, right? But in the end, did he actually become one himself? Today, we're going to dissect the final, tragic act of Mary Shelley's masterpiece, tracing that harrowing downward spiral that cost him everything and everyone he ever loved. Okay, so here's our roadmap. We're going to follow this grim progression through these 5 key stages. And as we go, you'll see exactly how Victor's own character, his ego, his fear, his incredible selfishness, ends up sealing his own devastating fate.
So, our story picks up high in the Alps. This is where Victor has run off to, trying to escape his guilt. And it's here that he's faced with a demand from his creation that is somehow both deeply logical and absolutely terrifying.
I mean, listen to the incredible self-awareness the creature has here. He's not bragging about his violence. He's laying out this powerful cause and effect argument. My cruelty, he's saying, is a direct result of the universal hatred I get from everyone. I'm miserable, and that's why I'm malicious.
And this slide just lays out the core conflict perfectly. On one side, you have the creature, making a totally rational case. He argues for a companion as a basic right, even promising to take her and disappear into the wilds of South America forever. But Victor can't get past his own feelings. He actually admits there's some justice to the argument, but his gut reaction, his total disgust for the filthy mass he brought to life, it just completely overwhelms his reason.
So, in the end, Victor caves. But let's be super clear. This is not an act of compassion. Not at all. He is swayed by pure fear, by the creature's threats and his incredible power. So he agrees, he'll create a female companion, and in doing so, he sets in motion the next catastrophic phase of his life, all based on a promise he already hates.
That forced agreement? Well, it sets the stage perfectly for our next chapter. Victor's promise wasn't made out of compassion, it was made out of fear. And almost immediately he starts looking for any excuse he can find to put off this abhorred task.
And this is where Victor's selfishness really kicks into high gear, now in the form of deceit. He straight up lies to his father and Elizabeth, pretending he just wants to travel a bit before settling down. But the truth? He's protecting his own reputation, not their feelings. This trip is just a cover story so he can gather knowledge for his horrible work far, far away from his family.
And to make the contrast even more stark, his best friend, Henry Clerval, comes along. And look at the difference between them. Henry is just full of life, soaking in the beauty of the world with this incredible joy. Victor, meanwhile, feels like a blasted tree. He is so trapped in his own secret misery that he's completely blind to all the beauty Henry sees. It's a perfect picture of his tragic, self-imposed isolation.
Of course, the act can't last forever. Victor has to get on with his promise, so he deceives and ditches his cheerful friend Henry and travels to one of the most remote, desolate places you can imagine, a barren little island in Scotland. This physical isolation is just a perfect mirror for his complete and total emotional separation from all of humanity.
And it's here, in this lonely hut, surrounded by the roaring ocean, that Victor's mind finally snaps. The sheer horror of what he's doing becomes too much, and he makes a decision that will directly cause the final awful wave of destruction.
Okay, so as he's working, his mind is just racing with these awful fears. What if she's even more evil than him? What if they breed a whole race of devils? And then he looks up, and through the window, he sees the creature's face, a ghastly grin just watching him. In a single horrifying moment of pure revulsion, Victor destroys his work, literally tearing the female creature to pieces. And the creature's howl of despair, it turns instantly into a vow of absolute revenge.
This is the threat that changes everything. It's so specific, and yet it's so ambiguous. I shall be with you on your wedding night. These words are a death sentence, but as we're about to see, the way Victor interprets that sentence is so clouded by his own ego that it leads to his single most tragic mistake.
And wow, the revenge is swift. And it is brutal. After dumping the remains of his project at sea, Victor's boat lands in Ireland, and he is immediately arrested for murder. The victim? Henry Clerval. And in that moment, to Victor's horror, he realizes the creature has already started his terrible work, making Victor just as utterly and completely alone as he is.
And this brings us right to the heart of Victor's downfall. He's imprisoned, he's sick with guilt, but he's eventually cleared of the murder. Freedom, though, brings absolutely no peace. He is consumed by just one thing, the creature's chilling threat.
So this is the big question, right? How would a rational person interpret this threat, especially knowing the creature's whole goal is to make Victor suffer, to make him as lonely as he is? But Victor's not a rational person.
You see, Victor's fatal flaw, his incredible hubris, it just blinds him. He can't even imagine a story where he isn't the main character. He automatically assumes the creature wants some final, dramatic showdown, creator versus creation. The thought that the revenge could be so much crueler, so much more indirect, it never even crosses his mind.
So this one flawed assumption leads him down this path of absolutely fatal logic. He agrees to marry Elizabeth, thinking it'll bring his family some happiness. He arms himself with a pistol and a dagger, getting ready for a fight to the death. He even decides he'll tell Elizabeth his dark secret after he's defeated his enemy, denying her the truth when it actually matters. And then, and this is the craziest part, on their wedding night, he tells her to go to their room alone while he patrols the inn, foolishly protecting her from a fight that was never, ever meant for him.
I mean, you can just picture this scene, can't you? A storm is raging outside, a perfect mirror for the storm in his soul. And Victor is just stalking the hallways, the tragic hero in his own mind, leaving the real target of the creature's hatred completely, terrifyingly vulnerable.
And then a scream just shatters his delusion. He runs in to find Elizabeth, lifeless, with the murderous mark of the fiend's grasp on her neck. And in the window, he sees the monster's grinning face. In that single instant, the horrifying truth just crashes down on him. The creature's ultimate revenge wasn't to kill Victor. It was to make him live, but live utterly and completely alone.
This final, unbearable loss just breaks something inside Victor. The weight of his actions completely crushes his family, and all that's left is this singular, burning desire that will consume the rest of his miserable life.
Just take a second and really absorb the sheer totality of this destruction. His little brother William, the innocent family friend Justine, his best friend Henry, his beloved wife Elizabeth, and finally his own father, who literally dies from a broken heart. Victor's entire world has been systematically and completely annihilated.
So he comes out of this period of madness, this time in an asylum, a totally changed man. The guilt, the despair, the grief, it all just hardens into something new, a singular, all-consuming desire for revenge. Standing right there at the graves of his family, Victor makes this solemn vow. He will hunt his creation to the ends of the earth. And in this moment, the transformation is complete. Victor Frankenstein has become a perfect mirror of the monster he created, a being driven by nothing but pure hatred and the need to destroy his one true enemy.
And so that's what we're left with, the novel's central haunting question. Who is the true monster? Is it the creature who is born innocent but was twisted by a cruel world? Or is it the creator, whose pride and fear and selfishness unleashed all of this suffering in the first place? It's that question that makes Frankenstein such a timeless and truly terrifying tragedy.